Thank you for returning to our fourth and final part in our Mary J. Blige series. Let's get right to it. There was one issue that popped up that Mary never thought she'd have to deal with. Her fans thought she was too happy. Not long before she got married, there was already talk in the streets about a new Mary J. Blige. The Mary that her fans had come to know and love because she would sing about the pain of everything she was going through. All of a sudden, now wasn't going through anything bad. See, that's ridiculous. Haters and fans go hand in hand. Those that place you on a pedestal only do so to eventually knock you off that pedestal, taking pleasure in watching you break. Damn shame. But anyway, this new version of her wasn't quite as edgy, not quite as streetwise, and not quite as relatable to some of her fans. Ghetto is what people want to say. Just admit that Mary was ghetto and cute, so she made people feel as if she was a peer, on her level, on our level, yet balling out of control. She was hood, and this made us feel a bit superior. People hated on the sophisticated Mary when she was doing well mentally and beating her demons. Yet when she was posh and suffering, this was sadly relatable to many. They wanted their icon of heartbreak to stay heartbroken. Some felt that her easier life had negatively affected her music and wished for Mary to go back to going through some things so she could get back to making that great music. Wow. What did Mary think about this? She was not pleased with the fact that people were asking her, "What are you gonna do now?" Since she was now happy in a relationship. "What the hell do you mean, going to do now?" she retorted. She went on to say that she was on another level and that she was finally ready to let the world see her other side. To sum up her feelings on the subject, Mary would say, "I really don't care about those people who say that I'm too happy because it's obvious they don't care about me." She then broke down in tears and continued, "They think this is entertainment. This is Mary J. Blige. This is not entertainment. They don't have to buy one of my records." Honey, the haters will hate. But Mary's suffering benefited more than just her avid fans and stans. Her suffering meant big money to her financial backers. There was money to be made from all that suffering and angst. Mary's suffering was profitable and had a captive audience in millions of lovelorn fans. Look at Taylor Swift, another singer that mesmerizes audiences with her tales of heartbreak. She's one of the biggest stars in entertainment, and she too has built her career on public breakups and relationship woes. We've been rubbernecking their train wreck personal lives for a long time now. And well, in comparison, our lives aren't so bad. At least they aren't so public, thank God. However, those ladies are richer than French chocolate, so there's that. But I guess I digress. For years, Mary's marriage was going well, and the couple seemed to be very happy together. Kendu became her manager, and her career was still going strong. Sadly, after they'd been married for 12 years, a bombshell hit. In 2016, to the surprise of everyone, Mary filed for divorce. According to her paperwork, the catch-all phrase, "irreconcilable differences," was to blame. Obviously, there was more to it than that. Here's how it went down. Mary accused Kendu of cheating on her. To make matters worse, he did it with one of Mary's proteges. The woman, Linnea, whatever, Menzies, was known professionally as Star Shell, Star Hale, whatever, okay? Ironically, Mary was introduced to Star's Hale by a producer that Isaacs knew. What a coinkydink. But let us continue. She was also the first person Mary signed to her Matriarch record label. Mary tried to jumpstart Star Hale's career by taking her to numerous television appearances and red carpet events. Additionally, Mary accused Isaacs of stealing from her. She stated that he had stolen over $400,000 from her to spend on his new girlfriend, Star Hale. She says he tried to hide this fact by claiming his spending as business traveling expenses. Fraud. Finally, she added that Isaacs had become verbally abusive to her and was upset that she didn't cook anymore and didn't like how she was doing her hair. Her hair? Really? She is a fashion icon, Mr. Isaacs. She is the trendsetter of an entire generation. Her hair had his tail up in mansions, sipping on good stuff, loving life. Her hair made it possible for him to embezzle $400K. She not even realized it until long after the crime had been committed. Lord have mercy. The enemy sent that fool. That's my unsolicited opinion anyway, so you know. That's just me, but whatever. But from Kendu's perspective, because he got a perspective, he claimed that Mary was cheating on him, not the other way around. He also questioned her sexual orientation. Most importantly, he seemed to be primarily concerned with how much alimony he was going to get out of the deal. Initially, he asked for over $160,000 a month. Oh my. He claimed that he needed to be able to maintain the lifestyle that he had grown accustomed to during their marriage. Here's a sample of some of the expenses he was claiming. Oh, wait, I'm going to say it slow so you can get these numbers down. Go get your pen and paper, because this is some bull snap, snip, snap, diddle, diddle, bat. I'll wait. All right. Here we go. He knows he needs Jesus. Peep game. $2,500 a month for transportation. $21,000 in charitable contributions. Charitable contributions, y'all. Well, he's the charity, but all right. $3,200 a month for fitness. Per month. He needs to look like The Rock if he's getting $3,200 a month to work out. And he don't look like The Rock. $1,450 a month in child expenses. $49.71 a month in child support. Keep in mind that he and Mary had no children together. Mary never even had kids. Good Lord, this is too much. $5,000 a month for him to support his parents. Wow, unbelievable. $76,000 per month for rent on one property and mortgages on two other properties and property taxes. $5,220 a month for a housekeeper. Okay. He said that he needed this amount of money because after Mary fired him as her manager, he had no income. On top of that, he claims she badmouthed him, and due to that, he was no longer employable and thus unable to make money. Okay. But you only had one client and your client fired you for having sex with her protege. Okay. Finally, he said that the stress of the divorce caused him to have to be hospitalized. Meanwhile, the couple already had a debt that they owed because of, in 2013, the state of New Jersey sued them for over $3 million in unpaid taxes. At that point, they still owed well over $1 million in back taxes. Mary also claimed that she owed over $25 million due to advances she received. Eventually, after about 2 years of back and forth, the divorce was finalized. While the divorce was ongoing, Mary was forced to pay Isaacs $30,000 a month in alimony. Once it was over, along with that, she had to pay back alimony, okay? Back alimony, as well as his attorney fees, which equaled $235,000 USD, baby. To say Mary was not happy with this outcome was putting it mildly. Here's a bit of a personal testimony about just how angry she was. Okay, check this out. Me and lovey-dovey baby boo here, we personally got the chance to see Mary in concert towards the end of her divorce proceedings, okay? She came to our town. She killed it. We loved it. The concert was on hit, and it was going well. But then at one point, Mary stopped singing. She then launched into an explicit rant about having to pay alimony to a Mille Mappa, Snip Snap Bappa, Mother Matter Factor, that blankety blank, bliggity, blued her life. The audience roared. We loved it. It was raw, slick, quick-witted, and well-deserved. Chung Kim, we're Mary fans, not Kendu fans. Later for him.
Listen, if we didn't think YouTube would cancel us for doing it, we quote Mary word for word. Y'all know we give you the scoop, but just trust. She pulled no punches that night. The crowd was going crazy while she was talking her ish.
Yes, sir. Now back to the story. While Mary was glad the divorce was finally done, all of the expenses and payouts she incurred left her nearly broke. Afterwards, Mary called Isaacs a con artist, saying that he had played and suckered her. Now, I personally wonder when she first spotted these red flags in this relationship. The fact that he, quote unquote, read her when she made the initial phone call to him speaks volumes. He is talking to someone that should have completely ignored him or set him firmly in the friend zone. But she took the time to call him, and he told her that her life was an infected, scabby wound. Not the slickest of game or sweetest bait, but she was biting. But why? Mary, why? He is so friend zone or leave me alone zone. Damn. But I digress. Mary would later reflect that after the divorce, all she had left was her name, like Tina Turner. Furthermore, she had to work after the settlement, as she had to ensure she had money not only for herself, but to pay Kendu his monthly alimony. At first, this meant that she had to go back on the road touring. It also meant taking more acting jobs. One song that Mary released, Rent Money, was inspired by her financial struggles after her divorce. I didn't have no money to pay my rent and all the other stuff, Mary said. The song also addressed the emotions she faced during that period. Even though Mary may have struggled initially following her breakup, she's definitely winning now. She starred on both television and in movies, and currently stars on the TV show Power Book 2. She also has her own line of jewelry for both men and women, a line of wine called Sun Goddess, and her own line of high-end boots. Because y'all know Mary can stomp around in some boots. Oh yeah, she continues to release music too. She released her 14th album titled Good Morning Gorgeous in 2022. She performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. In late 2024, she released her latest album titled Gratitude. And thanks to the YouTube algorithm and all of my Google searches on Mary, a video of her playing Eveline, the witch in the musical The Wiz, popped up in my feed. Another outstanding job by Miss Blige, I must say. And also must say that we just went to see The Wiz, and it's currently the Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, y'all. And we went to go see The Wiz, and the Eveline in that show was excellent. But honey, go check Mary out on YouTube. But anyway, I digress some more. In her personal life, Mary found herself a new man. At this point, while she's publicly acknowledged that she's no longer single, she refuses to say who her new boyfriend is. Very wise, very, very wise. Even though Mary's music has sold millions of copies, more importantly, from society's perspective, she has empowered women all over the world to find their place under the sun. She's done this by teaching them to love themselves, while also being resilient and strong in the face of adversity. Furthermore, she didn't accomplish that by simply telling people it's what they needed to do. She used overcoming her own struggles as an example of what finding your power looked like. Blige has long been a powerful advocate for women's empowerment. While it may not have been her goal, she's become a role model for women who faced emotional or physical abuse. Through her, many found the strength to confront their own issues, enabling them to leave bad situations and reclaim their lives. Mary has had an immeasurable and lasting impact on the culture, all while inspiring not only women, but people everywhere to love themselves. She has mastered turning lemons into lemonade, honey. Mary founded the Mary J. Blige Foundation for the Advancement of Women Now, called FFAWN or FFAWN, with the goal of helping women reach their potential. The foundation offers scholarships, grants, and programs to help develop self-esteem by teaching women both life and work skills. While the foundation has faced its share of struggles and criticisms, in 2025, Mary is still working to raise money for her cause. Not bad for someone who was always told they never amount to anything. It's a good thing she didn't listen. And let me add that we have all come a long way since the 90s. Her fan base has aged well. We have grown into men and women that have a sense of self and understanding of how life truly works. We have evolved and stalled, but we are not the same people we were in our hot 20s, okay? Let's allow Mary the grace to show us the lovely, astute, gentle woman that she has had to hide in order to get the support, love, and attention that we all seek. Let's support her journey to happiness by encouraging her to sing joyful songs from her soul, by supporting her less heart-wrenching and heartbreaking works. Let's call it a girl's cot. Let's call it a girl cot. We are here to support a sweet girl from New York that helped us through some tough times. We are buying into her message of hope, peace, and drama-free love. Let's buy, share, and listen to those songs of compassion and newfound happiness, even when our ornery, drama-loving souls want to do otherwise. We need to heal from our need to watch others suffer in order to be able to tolerate our own suffering. Perhaps we can't be happy if we can't celebrate and encourage the happiness of others. I'm just saying. Well, that's going to do it for our Mary J. Blige story. Thank you for sticking around. There's a whole lot of ad-libbing going on, but I appreciate your patience. This was a long one because I really like Mary's music, and she has helped me personally to shape my views on love, life, and what it means to be a child-free, independent woman in this world. Thanks for coming to check us out and listen and to watch our videos. We hope you'll come back as we put out more content. Thanks again, and talk at you later.